Good afternoon, everyone. Here is my presentation for sensation, perception, and action as we talk about our five, what, sensory systems. So, with this, my objective here is to reflect on my own personal experiences and perspectives within the context of each sensory ability. With perception being inherently subjective, I will try and explain how I view the world through my five sensory systems. First off, we are going to go over audition or auditory systems. Within the auditory systems, as I call it, the mind's ear, localization of sounds illustrate the role of subjectivity in auditory perception. Our brain processes auditory cues such as volume, pitch, and timing to determine the location of a sound in space. However, our interpretation of these cues can be influenced by factors such as our hearing ability, environmental conditions like the echoes and backgrounds, and even our expectations or assumptions about where a sound is coming from. Uh, for my examples in this regard, I talk about appreciating music and my personal tastes, where it fits within my cultural background and the past experiences typically influenced by each of these genres. The instruments and melodies, uh, however they resonate with me. Um, for my example, I grew up listening to all types of music, literally all types. Uh, with classic with classical music for this particular example, I interpreted the intricate harmonies and compositions differently from, let's say, the ones within hip hop or jazz. Perhaps that's because lyrics are not involved, or maybe the harmonies represent a certain energy level I'm seeking for that day. Even within the same genre, my individual preferences vary widely based on my personal history and emotional connections to certain songs or artists. And I'm sure it does for y'all. This is why we pick our favorite music, something that resonates within us. So, understanding speech is another area where subjectivity plays a significant role. Our language, accent, dialect, they shape how we perceive and interpret spoken words. Additionally, our beliefs, biases, and prior knowledge can influence how we understand and interpret the meaning behind the words we hear. For instance, the same sentence spoken by two different people might evoke different emotions or reactions depending on our personal associations with those individuals or the context in which the words are spoken. In this context, our personal interpretation of the auditory stimuli reflects our unique perspective shaped by our experiences, the beliefs, and the emotions involved. Just as we see the world through the lens of our own subjectivity, we also hear it through the filter of our own individual auditory perceptions. Next, let's talk about our olfaction system, aka the mind's nose. Our olfactory experiences are deeply intertwined with our individual memories, associations, and cultural context. Just as with auditory and visual perceptions, the quote, "we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are," is highly applicable to the olfactory perception. Smells have the remarkable ability to evoke powerful memories and emotions, often based on our past experiences and personal associations. Individual memories play a significant role in shaping our olfactory experiences. Certain smells have triggered many vivid recollections of specific events, places, and people from my past personally. For example, the certain scents coming from a busy kitchen transports me back to childhood memories of baking with loved ones. Even the smell of a particular perfume sends me back to the past when my mother was still here. Uh, These olfactory memories are often deeply emotional and have a profound impact on my mood and behavior. Associations also play a crucial role in how we perceive smells. For instance, the smell of incense might evoke feelings of spirituality or relaxation for someone who practices meditation. However, uh, this Same smell might trigger discomfort or negative associations for someone who has had unpleasant experiences with the incense in the past. In essence, our olfactory perception is highly subjective, influenced by our individual memories, associations, and cultural context. Next on our list, number three, is the gustation, aka our mind's tongue. Personal preferences play a significant role in shaping our perception of taste. Each of us as individuals have unique likes and dislikes when it comes to flavors, textures, and food combinations. These preferences can be influenced by genetic factors, early childhood experiences with food, and exposure to different cuisines. For my example, I was someone who grew up with eating spicy foods, and I kind of developed a preference for bold, intense flavors, while others probably prefer milder, more subtle tastes based on their own upbringings. Um, this is similar like the olfactory responses. Experiences with food have shaped my perception of taste. Positive experiences like particular dishes like my mom's slow fried chicken, or even the combination of ingredients of homemade stew led to a greater appreciation for certain flavor profiles in mine. While negative experiences like getting food poisoning from certain restaurants resulted in my own aversions and losses of appetites. Uh, I would say additionally, having memorable dining experiences such as sharing special meals with loved ones and or trying new exotic foods while traveling have been responsible for creating lasting associations that have enhanced my enjoyment for certain foods. Overall, our perception of taste is deeply intertwined with our individual preferences, our cultural backgrounds, and past experiences with food. Our culinary preferences and experiences not only shape our gustori perception, but also contribute to the culinary identity of how we navigate rich tapestry of flavors that the world has to offer. Next, we are going to go over to a somewhat personal scenario, proprioception. With proprioception, we are talking about physical activities that often highlight the importance of proprioceptive awareness. This one, my examples was with yoga, and during yoga practice, proprioceptive senses play a crucial role in maintaining balance, coordinating moves, and understanding your body's position in correlation to the space we are taking up. For my yoga examples, poses often require precise alignment and awareness of subtle changes in the body position. For example, in a standing balance pose like the tree pose, proprioceptive feedback from the feet, ankles, and legs help to stabilize my body and maintain equilibrium. As I shift my weight and adjust my alignment, I rely on proprioceptive signals to ensure that I am grounded and centered. Additionally, during more dynamic sequences, such as the sun salutations, proprioceptive awareness allows me to move fluidly through each posture with control and precision. I can sense the position of my limbs and the engagement of my muscles, adjusting my movements to maintain proper alignment and trying to avoid injury. Uh, Proprioceptive senses also contribute to my sense of self awareness and the embodiment during yoga practice. As I tune into the sensations with my body, I become more attuned to how different movements and postures affect me physically, mentally, and emotionally. This heightened awareness fosters a deeper connection between mind and body, allowing me to cultivate a sense of presence and mindfulness on the mat. Furthermore, proprioceptive feedback shapes my understanding of myself and my surroundings during yoga practices. As I move through the different postures and transitions, I interpret sensory information from my body to navigate the space around me and maintain a sense of spatial orientation. This embodied experience allows me to engage with the present moment fully and cultivate a deeper understanding of myself through movements. Overall, proprioceptive perception in yoga exemplifies how bodily sensations shape our understanding of ourselves and our own surroundings. By cultivating awareness of our proprioceptive senses, we can enhance our sense of self-awareness, embodiment, and connection to the world around us. Next and our last is attention. We all kind of are aware of this, but at the same time unaware of how much attention we give away. Uh, with the mind's attentiveness, the quote, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are," relates to our attentional processes by highlighting the subjective nature of perception. Your attentional focus is influenced by your personal goals, interests, and experiences, shaping the way you perceive reality. Where you focus your attention reflects not only on the stimuli present in the environment, but also your own internal state and cognitive processes. For me, I come up with a scenario of imagining walking through a crowded marketplace, bustling with activity, vendors calling out their products, various sounds blending in the cacophony of noise. Within this scenario, my attention is selectively directed towards specific stimuli, influencing my perception of the surrounding environment. Personally, I navigate the marketplace, focusing my attention on finding a particular item on my shopping list. Whatever that might be for that trip, this it really does depend on what is on my list, as long as I'm paying attention to my list. My attentional focus filters out irrelevant stimuli like the conversations of nearby shoppers or the sound of the squeaky cart, allowing myself to hone in on the information that is most relevant to my goal. Similarly, I do the same thing while navigating myself around in my car in new places. For example, like by turning down the radio so I can put my focus on this new foreign environment. I'm sure a lot of y'all have noticed that where you turn down the radio so you can see better. In this way, our attentional focus shapes our awareness and interpretation of sensory inputs. By selectively attending to certain stimuli while ignoring others, we prioritize the information that is important to achieving our immediate objectives. This selective attention allows us to efficiently process sensory information in a complex and dynamic environment, helping to make decisions and act based on the information that is most salient to our current goals. Overall, with selective attention filters it shapes our perception of reality, allowing us to focus on relevant information while ignoring distractions. By understanding how attentional processes influence our perception, we can gain insight into the ways in which our cognitive biases and personal experiences shape the way we see the world. In conclusion, with all of these forms of perception, we don't simply experience them as they are, but rather through the lens of our own subjective experiences and interpretations. I hope this was a good presentation for you, and thank you for your time.